Good morning. Welcome to my studio. How are you today? Thanks for stopping by. This is where I am pretty much every day, making funny books, picture books, chapter books, graphic novels, the lot. That's what I'm kind of doing in here every day. And so you're welcome here every day. As you know, I know lots of you have been coming a lot. We're up to, I don't know, what episode are we up to? Let's check. What episode are we up to? This is episode 47. Episode 47 of Live from the Studio videos. So hey, thanks for stopping by. I'm working on Funny Kid today, Funny Kid Belly Flop. You guys know you've been following me on that journey as I create the next Funny Kid book, so that you can kind of follow the whole process as I'm doing it. And then the cool thing will be at the end you'll have the book, and you'll be able to read the book, and you'll also be able to go back and watch these videos if you want and kind of see exactly how the book got made. So last time I was talking to you about this, I was saying that I'd done the edit with my publisher and my editor. We've gone through and made all of the words the best they could possibly be. And then I said that what happens is my publisher then does something called flowing it into pages. And now I can show you what that means. So they take the kind of the Word document that I've finished writing my, I do it in Google Docs actually, but the Word document that I've finished writing all of Funny Kid Belly Flop in, they take that, it's all been edited now, all of those changes, remember all those little comments and everything that I showed you? They've all been kind of taken in, so it's like a clean, perfect document. Then what happens is someone in the typesetting team at my publisher, they take all those words out of the Word document and they put it into a program called InDesign, okay, Adobe InDesign. And that's the software that we use to create the actual books. Okay, and so then what they do is they send me that InDesign document, and what it is it's got all of the words for a Funny Kid book in, looking kind of like a Funny Kid book does, but without any of the pictures. And so that's what I've got here. So you will know, for example, that at the start of all of the Funny Kid books, there's usually an illustration on the front page. That one's got duck. That was a bit unusual because it was a duck, just Peking duck, but there's Max on that one, right? So, see, it's a grey page, and then it's got an illustration on the front. Oh, that one was a bit different because it was a special one for Australian Reading Hour. That one, see? Now, what they do is they send me the InDesign document. It looks like this. There's the grey page. There is the grey page for Belly Flop. And now what I need to work out is what illustrations am I going to put in the book to make it as funny as I possibly can. So I make the words as funny as I possibly can, and then I get to go through again and look for ways to make the illustrations as funny as I possibly can. But it's not just as simple as just drawing pictures into the book, okay? Because when I put pictures into the words, it's going to move the words around. So I have to work out where I can put the pictures so that it makes sense for the story. And there's a couple of little tricks and things that I do for that. Let me show you what I mean. There's the next page, still grey, because that's normally, it's usually got a big illustration of Max on it. Okay, so something will have to go there, and I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. Then there's the title page. Usually there's a little picture of Max introducing himself here, and then there's Funny Kid, the title page there. Sort of title page for this. Whoa, sorry about that. Something just went weird with the video. Okay, so there's that title page. Now then we go to the kind of the book's title page. There it is, Funny Kid Belly Flop. This kind of thing, this little bit like written and illustrated by me, that goes kind of wherever it needs to go, because I'm going to put an illustration on here, right? You know that often, there you go, there's Max slipping on a banana peel on that one. Dressed as Captain Kickbutt on that one. What's happening in Peking Duck? Oh, that's right, Duck hijacks that one. Stuff like that. So I get to be quite playful with it. And then, so basically this becomes my starting point again. Like I get to start over and go, okay, now how can I make that page funnier? How can I make that page funnier? Then we go to, this is called the imprint page or the copyright page. and then there'll be a dedication there. You can see dedication. So I dedicate the books to somebody. I haven't worked out who I'm going to dedicate Belly Flop to just yet, so I'll have to put that in there. Okay, so here we go. Here's chapter 1, right? Now, no illustrations on there at all. So what I need to do is, so I've decided, for instance, that I'm going to put an illustration here. But when I put an illustration here, then obviously I'm going to lose these words, and these words will have to bump over to the next page, right? So the first kind of job is not so much drawing the pictures. The first job is working out what's happening in the story, what picture do I want to draw, and how much space on the page should that picture take up. And I've got to do that in order, because I work out that that picture is going to be that big. That means I've now got this text on the next page, so that's page 11, this text on this page. Now if I change my mind later and go, actually I'm going to make this page the whole full page, then it's going to bump more text over and change the layout of this page. Okay, so it's all completely interconnected. And so what I need to do is go through first, before I start drawing, and work out what's going to go where. And so I write myself little descriptions. So this description here, Max standing on the blocks in his Speedos face forwards. Okay, so that helps me know what to draw there. And then there's a character called Chaz. We've talked a little bit about Chaz. So Chaz face forwards, standing in waist deep water, hands on hips, in that bit. Now, here we go. Here's the first bit of speech bubble text, like dialogue in a speech bubble. Now, you know how in the Funny Kid books, the story moves in and out of the speech bubbles, okay? So when this text comes to me in its InDesign file, like before I put the pictures in, none of the text, I haven't worked out which text is going to go, which dialogue is going to go into speech bubbles, and which is going to be just part of the normal pages. And so I kind of go through and I work out, actually that little bit of words could come out, and that could be shown in an illustration rather than just written about in the text. So then what I do is, here's an example, right? So I pull the text out of here, I put it into its speech bubble font, okay, but no speech bubble yet. And then I say, so Max is on the blocks facing stage right, and Chaz is in the pool facing Max. And that's Chaz's dialogue there. Now you notice that I said stage right, okay? I need to be able to describe exactly what I'm kind of meaning. And so I think of it like you're looking at a stage, okay? So so we're in the audience here looking up at the stage, okay? And so stage right is this side, and stage left is this side. And the reason that I do that rather than just saying left or right is because I'll get confused about which side is right and which side is left, okay? Because is it right and left when you look at the page, or is it right and left for the character? Is it their right arm or their left arm? Because if you've got a character facing forwards, facing towards us here, and then I say, and it says Max, and I say Max turns to the right, do I mean stage right, which would be this side, or do I mean his right, which would be this side? Right? So I use these stage directions, stage right, stage left, to help me know which way the character is facing. And so I go through and do the whole book like this. This is this process now of working out dialogue, characters, where they're going to go and what they're going to be doing roughly, and how that's going to work to tell the story. Because I've got to think about where the story is up to at the end of each page, so that you don't turn the page at a really awkward moment, especially if there's kind of a joke there. Timing is really important with jokes, and page turns are part of that timing. Okay, so I need to be thinking through that all the time. So this is what I'm doing at the moment. This is this next stage of creating a Funny Kid book. Okay, it's really starting to come together now. It looks like a book. Here it is. Here it is. Here I'm kind of working my way through. Okay, it is a book, but it just doesn't have any pictures in yet. And so just like the whole time that I've been making it, as we've talked about lots of times before, everything is a layer, okay? So you do one thing, and then you finish that level, like the dialogue, you finish all the dialogue, make the dialogue as funny as you can. And then you come in and you write the story around the dialogue, and so you're looking for opportunities to make it more funny. and then you put it into pages. And then you're thinking about like, okay, where are the good jokes and where are the kind of moments and how do I get the laughter working as I turn the page? And then the next layer will be, okay, drawing the characters. How can I make those illustrations, the specific drawings as funny as I can? So it's lots and lots and lots of levels and layers that go into making one of these books. And I've completely made a mess of this pile of paper. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that was interesting. If you're doing the short story challenge this week, which remember was Extreme Trampoline, and you can email me your short story. If you're doing the short story challenge, why don't you think about layers? Why don't you think about writing just the dialogue first, or writing another layer over the top of detail, or then drawing a picture, and each time you're trying to make it a bit funnier than it was before. Cool. I like chatting with you. I hope that is useful and interesting information. And if you're watching this later in the future, when you're holding Funny Kid Belly Flop in your hand, I hope you can flip back to these pages and see where they were blank. And now, hopefully, they've got pictures on them. Cool. All right. See you guys. I'll see you here tomorrow. Bye.